Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
And tip-top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final, where Chris Martin's bizarre and crazy week continues. Quincy Notre Dame, amazing comeback on Wednesday. Gets a little crazier for the Gems manager tonight as well. More on that in just a second. But we are down to just a pair of still surviving high school spring sport hopefuls. And parochial power it is. Q&D baseball, aforementioned, plays for a sectional championship tomorrow morning. Tonight it was the Holy Trinity Lady Crusader soccer team trying to take step number 2 on the road to state. And Michael Sheeran's crew has done a really nice job so far in weathering adversity. Down to their third string keeper today. Second rounder against Mid Prairie. Largely uneventful first half until 13 minutes in. Allie Randolph with the perfect cross. Hooks up with Kristen Brink, who lets fly with the power right foot. Made it 1-0. The first half would end thusly. Second half got prettier for the Lady Crusaders. Pretty feed from Lauren Potatakis. Even prettier finish from the aforementioned Kristen Brink, who knocks home her second goal of the night via the cranium. But we weren't done yet. The Crusaders looking for more. Maya Rashid, doing a great night playing defense, gets a chance to show out offensively. A little chip shot. She finds the corner of the net, makes it 3-0 Crusaders at that point. Still some insurance to come, and this was absolutely gorgeous. Crusaders working the ball around a number of times right here. Eventually, Kristen Brink for the Brinks job. And the hat trick coming up right in a few seconds here as she's going to go not only upper 90 but upper 99, somehow squeezing this between the keeper's fingers and the bottom of the pole. You could kick that ball all day with no keeper there, still not make it happen. The hat trick, we're calling it a Brinks job tonight as Holy Trinity gets the win over Mid Prairie. 4-1 is your final. That's the good news. The bad news, tough road ahead on Monday for Holy Trinity as they'll have to show down with the number 2 team in the state, Iowa City Regina, who absolutely dismantled Anamosa tonight. 10-0 was your final there. The Crusaders will go to Regina again, the number 2 team in the state, coming up on Monday. That is a 6 o'clock opening kick. Highlights coming up for you on Monday night as well. We've got more to talk about. Not the finish the Keokuk girls, Alexis Kemp and Lakin Bolts, were hoping for today as they struggled a bit and in the 7th place match lost a heartbreaker to Kayla Rogers and Sarah Sabine of Clorinda 6-7, 7-5, 0-1. But what a great finish to those 2 young ladies' careers as they walk out as the number 8 team in the state in Class 1A. Not a bad doubles pairing and a great career for both of those young ladies as they are set now to head off to college. Our congratulations on a wonderful finish. Let's talk some basketball. The local recruiting hits just keep on coming for Brad Hoyt and his John Wood Trailblazer program. The school today announced the addition of Southeastern point guard Winston Smith, who became the 6th homegrown product to pledge for the Blazers this offseason. Winston was a second-team All-Do-or-Die selection and a special mention All-State pick by the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association during his senior season in Augusta. And given his handle, his relative strength for his size, and his ability to get to the rim at will, even against bigger players, Winston may be one of those Hancock County breakout players the Blazers have thrived on over the last couple of years, especially with a higher caliber of talent around him this season. Our congratulations to Winston. Well, America's hometown has become one-stop shopping for Division I college recruiters of late. Chandler Foey is, of course, signed to the Mizzou wrestling powerhouse. Defensive back Jerry McBride is pledged as of this week to Bowling Green football, and his teammate Dylan Powell, the offensive lineman, is getting Power 5 conference offers. But the most pedigreed Pirate export is a young man who plays a sport his high school doesn't even sanction, and who you've probably never even heard of prior to tonight. So, America, here's your chance to meet Jackson Wagner.
Well, I've been shooting archery since I was right around 3 years old. My dad got me into it at a young age. I just kind of fell in love with it. I started shooting tournaments with it when I was about 5, but then I shot a compound. But last May I switched over and shot Olympic-style recurve, and within a year I was able to get to where I needed to be to shoot in college.
But not just any college. We're talking Texas A&M, where the Aggies are to collegiate archery what Alabama is to football.
Well, they now have 17 team national titles. They picked up their 17th 2 weeks ago, I believe. So, I mean, they definitely have a rich tradition. And I know 2 of their male recurvers last year are now living at the Olympic Training Center out in California. So they have a tradition of developing their archers to where they need to be.
And clearly an aptitude for finding recruits, even off the beaten path.
Well, my personal coach, Larry Skinner, out of Moberly, Missouri, is actually really good friends with Frank Thomas, which is A&M's head archery coach, and they actually coached in the 2000 and 2004 Olympics together. So that's kind of how they knew. So it's just kind of like a puzzle piece deal, it just fit together for me.
While this represents an amazing opportunity for Jackson Wagner to push the ceiling of his own potential, it bears noting that Texas A&M is also gaining a young man of considerable drive and deep personal resolve, both on the range and in the classroom that was forged in loss.
And I used to shoot a lot of like indoor tournaments and outdoor tournaments when I was little, and I would always do really good at those. But then we had to take a couple years off, and we actually took those couple years off because my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she passed away in 2012. But then that kind of it gave me a little spark, that little spark I needed to really push myself to get better at this, and that's what I do. So that's kind of like my inspiration. I'm majoring in special education. That's what my mom did for 10 years, and like growing up, I was able to see the impact that she was able to have on people's lives, so that kind of inspired me to follow in her footsteps.
Clearly, Jackson is a young man undaunted by challenge, and as such, he's taken with enthusiasm this chance to measure his skills against the nation's very best.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It is kind of intimidating just because they are such a good school for archery, but they also have a couple of other athletes coming in next year that are already at the level where they can compete for the Olympic team. So I'm definitely excited just to train with them and see what it takes to really be at that level. I mean, it just, with any sport, it takes a lot of time and effort, and definitely with this, you don't get better if you don't practice. So I'm out here shooting 3 to 4 hours a day, just shooting arrows. That's how you get better.
Best of luck at College Station. Hope to see him in the Olympics in a couple of years. Wild night between the Gems and the Cavemen. Tyler Neiman getting the start at catcher. Top of the first, 3 walks by Jake Wade, compounded by 1 2-run hit right here, and a run-scoring wild pitch, and all of a sudden the Cavemen had themselves a 3-0 lead. Bottom of the first, Gems trying to make something happen with a runner aboard. They are undone by the sliding catch here of Philip Stiles. Nearly threw out Dominic Miles at second base. However, Miles was left stranded, 3-0 at that point. Top of the second, the aforementioned Tyler Neiman, your former KHQA baseball and basketball player of the year for 2014, starts things off with a single, and later with a pair of runners in scoring position. Might look like Jake Wade would get out of things with a strikeout there, but with a pair of runners in scoring position, Mr. Woodcock goes to work. Dustin Woodcock of Jacksonville right here with a 2-run bit of magic with 2 outs, made it 5-0 at that point. Gems threatening right here to try to take some sort of momentum back in this one. Bottom of the second, check out the unassisted double play by Josh Griffith. The reach and the easy tag right there. Good stuff from him. The Gems, though, would answer in kind with a beautiful defensive play of their own. Bottom line in this crazy, crazy game, the Cavemen led 9-0 at one point, and the Gems just finished them off 10-9, 10 unanswered. Anthony Villa with the walk-off, I think it's Villa actually, with the walk-off hit down the stretch in the bottom of the 9th inning.